The Late Late Show.
Roger Fallon, F-A-L-L-O-N, alias Romeo Fallon, alias Robert Flagler, alias Roger Fanshawe, alias John Doe.
Where do you live, Roger?
In a tree.
You don't say. In a tree.
Social climbing. We found him under a rock. Wake up a stenographer, will you? We gotta take a statement. Come in.
Sorry we have to keep you here. We'll have a stenographer soon.
Lieutenant Parker.
Mike, this is Adam. We picked up Fallon. There was a woman with him. Same game he always plays. Yeah, well, we're gonna get a statement from her now.
All right. Tell Frank to go out and bring in that court woman. Get a guy from the district attorney's office, wake up a judge, and get a warrant for the diary. Make out a report for the district attorney's office, and I'll be down in a little while.
Right. Can you send us a man up here, please?
Would you like a cup of coffee, Miss Hendon? We always keep a pot going.
Yeah. Oh, what about that stenographer? Is she on the way? Right. It'll just be a few minutes now. Mike wants you to pick up Virginia Court. A diary. Get a warrant.
Where will it all end?
In the grave, Frank. In the grave.
So they say. So they say.
I sure wish I could do something for that woman out there.
Hi, Adam.
Hello, Ken.
Hi, Frank.
Hi. Some coffee, in case you change your mind. Give me a cigarette, Adam.
Oh. Keep those.
Oh, thanks. I'll be back when I get here.
Would you like a cigarette?
Sue me.
This is the story of a man who used many women. The story of Roger Fallon, alias Romeo Fallon, whom we have seen. It is also the story of Virginia Court, whom we have not yet seen. It is a detective story, and it is a love story. It is a story of loneliness, without end and without solution.
Sorry, I'm very nervous.
You shut up! Why don't you take it outside? Sit down.
What are you trying to do, brainwash me? I don't need that Chinese water torture. I got enough in my back right now.
Sit down!
Sorry.
Don't you apologize, Miss Hendon. He lives off of apologies of women like you. The worst thing you ever did in your life, you never came down as low as him at his best. He takes decent women and he destroys them. He uses them to get what he wants. So please don't you apologize to him. To Detective Lieutenant Michael Parker, and whom it may concern. From Detective First Grade Adam Flint. Subject: investigation of burglary on premises at 1321 Riverside Drive. Paragraph 1. At 8:30 a.m., March 2nd of this year, a report was received of a burglary at the above premises. Detective Flint and Detective Frank Arcaro went to investigate. They were joined later by Lieutenant Parker, who took charge of the investigation at that time.
Yes.
Miss Court,
Yes. Come in.
will you come downstairs? The servants are needed in the kitchen.
Is it the police?
Yes.
Are they questioning everyone?
Yes.
Is it necessary?
Well, they seem to think so. After all, any one of us may have seen or heard something that would be of interest to the police, you know.
I was watching them. You know, this is a lonely country here. In my village, there was only one constable for the entire village, you know.
You missed London, then. You would have seen more than one bobby at a time in London. Now, don't hold us up.
I'll be down to the kitchen directly. Will they search the rooms? I don't like the idea of anyone going through my personal things, coming in and peering into drawers, peeking into the closet, lifting the mattress to see what's under it. I don't like that sort of behavior.
I don't know what they'll do.
Chips, one antique ring, 18 karat gold amber surrounded by diamond chips, initialed HB 1831 on the inside. One man's ring, opal, 18 karat gold, initialed RLW 1922 on the inside. One cabochon ring, whatever that may be. One signet ring, Louis XVI, massive gold with ornate intaglio initials.
Where's Adam?
Adam, hold on a minute. Adam, he's out back. He's out there scouting around where they came in from.
Who's they?
They, him, whoever it was. There's a door jimmied back there.
What's the damages here?
The damage is about $120,000 in jewelry, 2 pictures, paintings. One worth $60,000, another worth $42,000. They cut the canvas right out of the frame.
$250,000 in a suitcase, huh?
Excuse me. You are the detective lieutenant we've been waiting for?
Lieutenant Parker.
Roland Whitworth.
How do you do, Mr. Whitworth?
Well, not very well this morning.
I imagine not.
This is Mrs. Whitworth.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Whitworth?
How do you do?
A lieutenant detective ranks higher than a detective first grade, is that right?
Hang on, I'm still here.
I had a little difference of opinion with detective first grade Flint.
What kind of a difference of opinion?
Mr. Flint thinks...
Detective Flint.
My servant should be interrogated.
Why not?
They resent it.
Why?
I resent it, personally.
Why?
Because I vouch for everyone who works for me.
What do you mean, vouch? You sound like you're going to put up a surety bond or something. If you happen to be wrong, then you're going to forfeit $100, something like that.
Lieutenant, every servant in this house was brought over from England, and they were thoroughly checked before I hired them.
Do you happen to have them checked since?
They were checked, Lieutenant, by the same security service that checks the personnel at my bank. And I expect you people to take my word for it.
That's where you made your first mistake, Mr. Whitworth, because we people don't take anybody's word for anything. We happen to have suspicious little minds that make us do our own investigating every time.
Adrian, will you ask the servants please to wait? The police are going to talk to them. And would you please tell them that they have nothing to be afraid of, because I personally will be there when the questions are asked.
Very well, sir.
Where's out back somewheres?
What?
Where Adam is?
Oh.
I'm so sorry for your English servants, Mr. Whitworth, and I will try to give a good imitation of Scotland Yard. But don't you worry, and tell them not to worry, because I already know the Magna Carta.
I'm back. One bracelet. Emeralds, small diamonds of considerable fire, set in a series of platinum links.
Adam! Adam! What's out here?
I was just trying to check out an approach. Now, that's the doorway over there that they're supposed to have broken in. But you see, to get in or out of here, the alley on the other side is a dead end. And the only other possibility, there's a doorway in the building, but that leads to a cellar. Oh, come here, I want to show you something. Whoever jimmied this door did it with a heavy hand. Must have been some noise, huh? With all these windows around here, Mike, somebody must have been in one of those rooms to have heard that noise. Just figures by law of averages. You think a door like that would be hard to open?
Say, you could open that with a bobby pin.
That's right, if you're trying to be quiet about it.
It'd be hard to open that with a pick lock or a master key.
If you wanted to be quiet about it.
Smells a little, huh?
I think it's too elaborate. It calls too much attention to itself.
Looks like somebody on the inside trying to make it look like somebody on the outside.
Adam's checking the last room now.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, yeah, I saw that, Mike. But, it's sealed.
Yeah, I know. It's impossible for a grown man to tear a piece of sticky tape.
Well, that isn't even locked with a key. That's just to let us know that it's personal. Besides, what are you going to find in there?
How do we know what's in here? Who she knows, who she talks to, what she talks about? You don't think that's important in the investigation of a robbery, huh?
I'm through in here, Mike.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. What are we, gentlemen of the old school? Hey, here's a funny thing. All the entries are on Thursdays and Saturdays. Like she only lived 2 days a week.
And now we've finally met. It seems incredible that but this morning I walked alone on the streets of this city, and now this evening I have met him. To walk in a street and bump thump into a person, and that person in an hour to be closer than others, one has known for years and years. He is handsome and clever. Far too clever for me, I think. And yet he finds me attractive too. He is kind. Dark man with kind, deep eyes. How did he know it was the Empire State Tower I wished to see and did not dare? How did he know to kiss me there on the lonely tower and that I would not protest? How did he know me to guess I was so lonely? And afterwards, champagne. And now I am full of caring where I was empty, and oh, I dared dream he did not lie and will see me again as he promised. He is real. He is real, I swear it.
Come on, Frank. Let's leave the woman alone.
Adam, that stuff's right out of a movie.
Yeah, sure. I mean, dark man is probably 50 years old and bald.
No, it's right straight out of a movie. I saw it the other night. The dark man, the champagne, the Empire State Building, the whole works.
Well, all the more reason. If this poor woman's life is so barren that she has to go to a movie, then come home and write about it in her diary to make out it really happened to her. Then what right do we have to know about it?
Who's the woman out in the other room? Is that the one you picked up with Fallon?
Yeah.
Same type every time. The quiet ones. All Fallon's got to do is say hello and they fall down. Who are they? So beautiful that he'd go for them?
I had it coming here, Mike. I almost hit him.
Carol bring in that Virginia court yet? Well, we're going to have to park that woman somewheres. I don't want her and Virginia court to meet yet. Say, there's not much to look at from this window during the daytime. And at this time of night, it's really nothing.
This is a lousy case, Mike.
What do you think they pay $128 a week for? Because they want to give it away? But park that woman in room 3.
Who?
The woman in there.
Oh, Hendon. Josephine Hendon.
Miss Josephine Hendon goes in room 3. You think Virginia court will identify Fallon? Yeah, it is a lousy case.
Sit down, man.
Oh, company?
Just visiting.
Lieutenant Parker.
We're downstairs. What do you want us to do from here?
It's Frank. Bring her up to my office. Be sure you take her through the squad room.
Did you mention to her what this is all about?
I never did any police work until tonight, did I?
You day people always got short tempers on the night shift.
Come with me, man.
Bring Miss Cord into my office. Miss Cord, you saw that man in the other room. Is that the man who came to the house with you the night of the robbery? Is that the man sitting in the other room, who was in the house and in your room at the time of the robbery?
There's nothing in what you say. I don't know your man in the other room.
Miss Cord, do you like your coffee black? Miss Cord, who do you think you're kidding? Don't you realize that we have the answers to all the questions that we ask you? Don't you realize that we know why you're not giving us any answers? But I want you to think about something. When you don't give us answers, you take a position against law and order. That you don't like us personally is one thing. It isn't only that I'm a man named Michael Parker, and he's Frank Arcaro, and he's Adam Flint. It just so happens that we're officers of the law. But I don't believe, if you think about it, that you could truthfully give us answers against law and order.
You could be wrong, you know. Just because you got it into your head that's the way it was, it isn't now written down anywhere.
It was an inside job, Frank.
Okay, it's an inside job. I think that's right. Mike thinks that's right, and you just said you thought it was right. Now you show me how you can go from that to this.
Frank, I've just explained it to you twice. Now, you're not listening. You have your mind closed against the whole idea.
I got the...
What are you hollering about?
We're hollering about an argument we got here. Adam's got it all solved. He's got it all pinned. He knows all the answers.
Virginia Court. Why?
Out of some of the most cockamamie ideas I ever heard.
Calm down, calm down. Adam, I asked you, why Virginia Court?
It's not very tangible.
Never mind the editorials.
But of all the people in that house, Virginia Court is the only one who is absolutely isolated. The only woman that keeps completely to herself. Well, you were there when we questioned those people, Mike. About everybody else in that house, we have a complete encyclopedia. Who they are, who they go with.
Adam, we had a tale on Virginia Court just like everybody else. Did any one of those tales come up with one suspicious thing about her?
Well, why should they?
She goes nowhere. She does nothing. Museums, etc., etc. That's movies. Now, if she had an accomplice...
What accomplice?
Adam here thinks she's got an accomplice.
Adam, I asked you, what accomplice?
The man in the diary. I think we made a mistake when we decided the diary was about something that happened in a movie. I believe what she wrote in that diary was real.
Adam, 4 times I said for 6 weeks we had a tail on her. She sees nobody. She's a woman by herself.
Not according to the diary.
All right, all right. Adam, how did you decide there was an accomplice?
Because it fits, that's all. It just fits.
Well, suppose we use it as a theory. Suppose we link Virginia Court to the robber. Where do we go from there?
I want to go over that diary page by page.
Well, then you go ask her for it yourself. Don't send me, because I couldn't look her in the face.
Didn't seem to hurt you so much opening it up the first time.
Everybody else changes their mind. Why can't I?
Yes, but if she is tied in with the burglary, and we take the diary from her, we put her on the alert, and him.
I don't want to take it.
Oh?
They'll call us if she's coming home, Frank. Where are those photostats?
Lower right-hand drawer on my desk.
Would you look at these, please?
This is a photographic copy of my diary. To get this, you have been into my room in my absence. And did you spy on me while I was dressing as well? How long have you had this?
2 months. I've studied it page by page, sentence by sentence. I know every word of it better than you do.
Have you no shame?
Do you know how we found that man out there? I took the clues from your diary. I put together bits and pieces of your description of him. And then I went to the places you mentioned. And I asked them if they had seen a man like that, with a woman who looked like you. And that's how we found him. And that's how we know he was in your room the night of the burglary.
Why'd you ask me then? If everything is known, what is wanted of me? Why should I say something at all? After all your spying and examining into the shame of my life. If you know that there was a man in my room, why do you bother to ask me to put it into words for you again? Why? Why is it? I tell you, men, you had better look to the shame in yourselves instead of trying to pull me down and to make a shame of me. Whatever it is I did, I never stole into the confidence of another person and spied on them. I have never committed this wantonness as you did.
We know what we know. Whatever we feel about how we got the information. Sometimes we're forced to do things that we might not do in a better world. But listen to me. Nobody's trying to shame you, except that man in there. You're not the first woman that he used. You're not going to be the last one. That's why we're asking you to try and help us to stop him.
I see. Indeed, I see. You want me to bring him to law for you.
Are you ready, Miss Hendon? You understand, of course, what we want you to tell us. How you came to meet Mr. Fallon, what you did together, and so on. For the purpose of bringing out the actual motives for his behaving as he did. Now, will you tell us your name?
Josephine Hendon.
And where you live?
983 East 84th Street.
What is your occupation?
I work there.
What kind of work do you do there, Miss Hendon?
I'm a maid.
You're a maid at the same address?
Yes.
Have you worked for these people for quite a long time?
For 5 or 6 years.
And the people you work for put a lot of trust in you, huh?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You have your own key?
Yes.
Now, Miss Hendon, will you tell us in your own word how you came to meet this Mr. Fallon and what has happened as a result of your meeting?
I didn't know when I met him what kind of a man he was. I had no way of knowing. I'm not a woman who just picks up men. He seemed to know me so well. It was as if, from the moment I laid eyes on him, I knew him for a long time. When I mentioned to one of the policemen about how Roger seemed to know so much about me, the policeman said he probably followed me for a long time first and learned all my habits and all about me.
Sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Are you all right?
Well, I don't know. I think I am. What is it? What do you see?
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. It's just that you're a very attractive woman.
Nonsense. Well, I really must be going. I have affairs to take care of.
You're a stranger here, too, aren't you?
I've been here 3.5 years.
You came from England?
Walton on the Thames. I suppose it's my manner of speech that gives me away. Where do you come from?
San Francisco.
Have you been here long?
Since yesterday morning. I'm here on business.
Well, then you'll be going back soon enough.
No, I don't have anything to go back to or anyone to go back to. I want to stay here in New York. I've had enough of San Francisco.
Well, here we are, talking as if we knew each other. I really must be going. I have 100 things to do.
Please, I'd like to get to know you. May I?
I'm not that sort of person. It is not my way of life.
But
to
we
meet
met in the
someone
best
on
possible
the
way,
street,
by accident.
By accident, become
As
friendly.
if the heavens themselves introduced us.
Do you really believe that?
Well, it's possible, isn't it?
I'm not that important to heaven. Whether you are or not, I have no way of knowing. You've been here such a short time. Only one day. You'll know and meet many people. Well, I really must be going. It's been nice knowing you.
My name is Roger Fallon.
Please, I cannot. I cannot be kissed like this in a public place. I want to, but we mustn't.
Virginia?
Yes? Why do you shudder?
What would the English say about that?
Somebody walked over your grave?
Maybe they did. I think it's time for us to leave.
Yes. You are a strange, moody man. Will you ever forgive me for being what you want? A strange, moody, angry man.
I hate it here. I hated bringing you to this small, ugly, shabby room.
Do you think I mind?
I mind.
After all, what am I? A servant, no more. What palaces do you think I was brought up in?
Well, I hate it.
Well, then, what shall we do about it? Yours has not been an easy life, has it?
I'm not crying about it. In 1944, on the 16th of May, I went to see my father's funeral. And afterward, we came back to his room, my mother and me. And she searched in the closets and in the drawers and under the rugs. And she found a half bottle of whiskey and 2 glasses. And she sat me down at a table across from her. And she poured whiskey for me and whiskey for herself. And she said, "Here's to your inheritance. Drink it down." I was 10 years old. Yes, it was the 16th of May. I remember it very clearly because there was a calendar on the wall behind my mother's head. A girl, you know, half-dressed the way they are on those calendars. Well, we never lived in one place after that. We moved from one room to another.
That is a hard life.
Do you have a room of your own where you live?
Oh, yes.
Do you have pictures there?
There's a picture of my mother and father on their marriage, you know. And one of my brother Lawrence, and my sister and her husband and their 2 children.
Virginia? Listen. I want to come to your room.
That would not be possible. It is not my house.
But it is your room, isn't it?
I live there. Yes, I live there, but it is not mine.
Please. I want you to ask me to come there. I just want to be there with you. I want to be a part of somebody's life. Not somebody who goes from one cheap hotel room to another.
It would be so difficult. I would have to find a way to get you in that no one knew about.
Make me a part of your life.
And then we walked all the way up Riverside Drive. And we were there at Grant's tomb, standing there. And he kissed me. But I didn't want him to. And I struggled against him kissing me. Because I'm not that kind of a person. I didn't want him to. And then I saw 2 men watching me. And they came over to us. And they put their hands on Fallon's shoulders. And they arrested him. Those 2 men were detectives. Those men. They can tell you that I didn't want him to kiss me. And that I struggled with him. Could I speak to him in privacy? want to tell you. I have told them you were in my room on the night of the robbery. Leave him alone! Could you not at least preserve the form of decency by going to the other side of the room? I want to tell you why I did tell them about us. I don't know what you gave or what you took from other women. I know there have been many of them. I can only speak for myself. I am grateful to you. I am not a lovely woman. I have not had many men look at me with wanting in them. Whatever it was you truly felt, I have the memory of being wanted for once. All this would not be enough for me to speak to police about a most lovely and intimate feeling between us. It was when I was listening to the woman you were with tonight at the time of your arrest. And when I saw, as I listened to her, that she too wanted to take and take and take from you. She denied it. She pretends she had no wanting for you. It was all your wanting. She also pretends that she had only contempt for you as a person, and that there was nothing you could give to her. And when I heard all this, I knew, in all honesty, I could not deny you. I want you to know you have given me pleasure. You have given me a respect for myself I did not have before. You have made me feel it is possible a man might want me. This will not be concealed by me. I'm grateful to you. I thank you.
Well, it's been the end of a long night, isn't it?
Miss Court. Wait a minute. Don't run off like this. Let me drive you home.
I have some pride. I care about whom I'm seen with in public.
This is the love story of Roger Fallon and Virginia Court. It is a story of solitude without end and without solution. There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
Screen Gems film presentation, Herbert B. Leonard, executive producer.